Welcome back to the reading vlogs. It is Monday afternoon. Thankfully, my meeting got cancelled. That is in the afternoons on Mondays, so we have a good start to the reading vlog. Quick thing, if you can see bandages on my hands, I have stress-induced eczema, and it is on my hands. So yeah, the last couple of months have been really stressful, and I'm feeling it now, and my hands are probably going to get a little bit worse. I'm trying not to show it too much because it is not pretty, let me tell you, but I have to live with it, and I can't control my stress levels at the moment because of everything that is happening. So yeah, we're just hopefully gonna ignore all of that. So just, as a reminder, please don't comment on it. It would be nice if you could not do that. Let's talk about the reading. I read or reread Stormy this weekend, and I loved it as always, 5 stars. I will start Benji today, which is the second part, and I know that it will start with a really, really bad thing happening, which I don't know yet what it is, and I'm kind of afraid of the start of the book. I know that the romance will be good and worth it, but yeah, I'm kind of afraid of the start. So it will probably be a slower read, because whenever I feel too uncomfortable, I will just switch to a book I know is just really lovely, and I will make my way through it this way, because sometimes if the scenes are too bad, I have to take a step back and read something else. So that is the romance I will be starting to read. The other book I started is Hellbent, finally. I'm 30 pages in, and so far we are just establishing where we are at. As this is a second book, I have to kind of be careful what I talk about, but our main character is Alex again, full name Galaxy Stern, but she goes by Alex, and she is finding her way back into life after what happened at the end of the first book, which is Ninth House. And she is definitely feeling the events of the first book. Her connection towards ghosts has been becoming deeper and deeper. And so we have a little bit of foreshadowing, and then we are stepping back a month in time. And she just had to observe like a ritual, and she had to do some errands, which one of the errands, a ghost actually entered her mind and talked to the other person, which is something that would not happen in the first book. So there's definitely a shift in what happens to her and in connection with ghosts. And we do know that in 1 month's time she is gonna be stuck in a house with 2 like dead people, like the bodies of the dead people and the ghosts of the dead people. That is kind of the foreshadowing that we've gotten. So yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. We still have definitely the power struggle with like the higher echelons of Yale. She is getting a new like the House Lethe, which is the secret society she belongs to, that deals with sects and ghosts and occult stuff. If you haven't read the first book, is now appointing a new head of the house, because the last one may or may not be alive anymore, ending of the first book. At least he's not in his job anymore. And so they have to pick a new one, which doesn't really suit Alex because of what happened in the first book. So she's trying to avoid meeting the new one. So that is where I'm at this point. It is going to be slow going with the reading still. I still have a hard time sitting down with a physical book. I also think my eyesight is getting worse, so I might need to go back for new glasses sooner than I would have thought, because I have a hard time, like if I take my glasses off, actually everything is a little bit blurrier than it used to be. So I'm getting, even with my glasses, I get a headache way easier if I read something physical, which is also keeping me slower. So I might have to go back and get another glasses. I didn't really want to because it's expensive, but yeah, I might have to. We'll see. We finished our Lego build on the weekend. I will show you tomorrow, or I'll just insert a video here. I'm gonna have to see how I do it, but I need to put it into its place where it's supposed to be, because at the moment it's on our living room table and it's as big as our table. But yeah, the set is lovely. It's a really, really nice looking set. It was a really, really fun time building it. We watched like the first Lord of the Rings movie, then the first half of the second one, then we listened to a little bit of music whilst building it, and then we also watched Project Hail Mary again whilst building the rest of it, and we had a great time all around. I'm gonna have to say that. And then the last thing to catch you up is I finished my dragon cross stitch. This is how it's looking now. I really love the look of this. I need to find like a frame for it. It's on this like pale pink and blue background, and then we have the two frames and then the dragon in the middle. And yeah, I thankfully had enough thread for it, so it's looking great. So now I just have to wait for my new cross stitch supplies so I can start the next one. And yeah, I did a little bit of progress on my scarf, but you still cannot tell what it is, I think. Or maybe on the camera it's a little bit easier to tell, maybe. It's an octopus coming out of the water, but yeah. This is like a really slow project because it's a scarf and we seem to have summer weather already here, so it's probably not gonna get cold for a long time. So yeah, I have a lot of time till I want to have the scarf finished. And yeah, that is kind of the catch up of the weekend. I will now do a little bit of gaming, enjoy the fact that I don't have another meeting today. And then I don't even know. I do kind of need to clean this room up, so maybe I will start that today as well. I don't want to, but I'm not doing well in like chaotic rooms, and this room has definitely seen a lot of chaos of the last week, and so yeah, we'll see. And yeah, I'm kind of hyper today. I might have had a little bit too much caffeine. But yeah, I will see you with an update and maybe the start to Benji, which I'm so afraid of. I can't even really prepare, even though I know that the beginning will be like hard to read. But yeah, I don't know. It is Wednesday afternoon now. There won't be a Thursdays video again this week. Well, for you, the past week. I don't think I'm quite at the point with my life that I'm managing 2 videos a week. I'm really sorry. I will try to get one out for next week, but it's still a lot. I'm still trying to, get back into a normal rhythm, which, yeah. Life is just not lifing at the moment, and not necessarily in like a negative way, in just like an extremely stressful way for me. So I'm doing my best here so far. I wanted to give you an update. I am now nearly halfway through Hellbent. I really like it. It is, as the title suggests, is about ways into hell, and they are trying to rescue somebody. I'm not going to spell too much because obviously second book and all of that, but I really like Alex, our main character. I think she's a really cool main character because she is flawed. She isn't perfect. She has reactions that at some points annoy you, but she's, I feel like, pretty relatable for what she's been through and how she goes into situations and how annoyed she is at things she has to do and at things other people have done that she has to rectify now and all of that. So yeah, I really like the series. It is, we still have the secret societies. We have now also demons and, all of that coming together and playing together and finding the secrets that people have kept since starting the school and the secret society. So it's all really interesting, to be honest. And I'm excited to see where that will go. Other than that, I haven't continued with the 2 romances I originally wanted to read this week because I'm mentally not in a position to continue with them right now. Those 2 are, Benji from Ren Wilds, which is, that one really did me dirty. I really want to get to the good part, but I knew something bad was happening in the beginning, but what I did not realize, it isn't happening to Benji, our new character. No, the bad thing is happening to Mickey, our known character. And he's in the hospital in the beginning because he saves Benji from a gunshot, and it's something I can't deal with right now. It's so sad. So yeah, I am currently not continuing with that one. And then the second one I tried to read after that was Carver, which is a motorcycle romance, the first one in the Angels of Ruin series. And that one starts with a really traumatic life for a guy who gets, I don't even know how he lands with a woman, but he's pretty much like been tortured, malnourished, abused for 21 years, they suspect. And yeah, it's as horrible as that. I know that there's gonna be romance at some point, but yeah, I'm at the moment not emotionally stable enough for those romances, to be honest. I really want to continue them, but not right now. Instead of that, I read 2 short stories. Both of them has like 60, I think one had 60 and one had 80 pages, so pretty on the like short side for romance. The first one is called The Lodger, which is a book about a guy who works like, you know, your average adult job in like a marketing agency, like really not a great job, but it pays the bills, and his roommate moves out to move in with his girlfriend, and he can't afford his apartment alone, and so he searches for a new apartment, and he lands in, let me look up what the other guy is, a photographer who is called Nick, and so he lands in Nick's apartment, and Nick is gay and likes him straight from the beginning, though we do only get the POV of our main character. But yeah, our guy doesn't really realize that, and then they slowly get to know each other, and what our main character just assumed were like friendly feelings, like he starts to realize that maybe they're not, and yeah, they then have an impromptu morning photo shoot, and Nick shows him how he sees him, and they land in bed together, and that is pretty much the gist of the story. But the way the story was told, it's by Tom North, was really, really nice. So I gave it 3.5 stars because it was a little bit on the boring side, but the way the characters interact with one another, like the way it was written, I really, really liked. So 3.5 stars for that one. And then after that, I read my first romance that actually didn't have any spicy scenes, which I have not done so far because it's really not something I'm generally interested in, and that is called Where the Light Falls by Emery Hale. And in this one, we have 2 guys. One works at a coffee shop, and the other one works at a library. And the coffee shop and the library are directly opposite of one another. And the guy who works in the library, he has fallen in love with the coffee shop guy. And every day for his lunch break, he sits in the 3rd story window and not really stalks the coffee shop guy. He just watches him, and what he did not realize is that the coffee shop guy actually realized, and he has feelings for him as well. And so he waits for the guy to do something, and when he realizes the library guy is too shy to do anything, he goes into the library and they talk. Both are doing masters at university, and they bond over that. One does obviously for the library, and the other one is like a history arts major, but they have really like similar topics, and then they spark a friendship because our library guy is pretty awkward, and he kind of feels like he doesn't really deserve love because of how he behaves and what he feels are his shortcomings. And so they pass the time, they get to know each other, they realize like that they have really a lot in common, and then our coffee shop guy is like, okay, I have to do the first move because otherwise we're not gonna get there. But the way the story was written was so cute. Like, they were really, really cute. I really loved the way the story was written. And yeah, I didn't even mind that there were absolutely 0 spicy scenes. It kind of ends as soon as they get together. But like the pining and the way to get there was really, really sweet. So I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, those were the 2 that I have read. I need to search for a new one. I need happy-go-lucky romances at the moment, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe next week I can get to Benji because I really want to read that. I don't want to cry the whole evening, I'm gonna be honest. And I'm somebody who already cries way too much. Mostly out of frustration, but you know, from being sad as well. And so if I read a sad romance, I'm just gonna cry, and I'm not in the mood to do that at the moment. So yeah, what I will be doing now is no more reading today because I got my package that has my cross stitch supplies. So I will now start my cross stitch. Let me see if I can show you anything. Is there anything interesting in here? I don't know. And also, I still get my Illumicrate today, so I will show you that book later on in the day, once it comes in. They were supposed to come with the same package delivery service, but they don't seem to have been, so we'll see. Yeah. As you can see, I have a whole lot of embroidery thread or floss. I don't know what the right name is. Yeah, this is all of my thread. I don't know if you can tell, it's like a lot of purples. It's relatively pastel-y because I'm doing like the one I'm stitching is called Birth of Venus. It's art by Chrisabak. If you know her art, like I really love her artwork, really love her style. And it's like really pretty pastel colors, and she has like pink hair and then like a see-through white dress. It's a really nice looking art, and that is what I will be stitching on this fabric. It comes pre-gridded so that you don't have to think about that, which is nice. So yeah, I will now get to preparing my stitching, and then I will start stitching, and maybe I will show you a little bit once you can see anything. It's a pretty big project, so it will take me probably like a year or something like that, but I'm super excited to start. So yeah, I will check in with you once the new book is here. So I had a really good reading session and actually finished Hellbent, though I have to say this book just screams too much. The whole story going forward is like a real mess of things happening, and I feel like Libadugo just like had a lot of ideas and all put them into one book, though I feel like maybe they should have been a couple of books. I just think there was too much happening to make sure that the story is full of action, but to never pause and just take a breather. So yeah, I'm giving this 3 stars. I actually don't think that it's a bad book. I just think the story could have been a little bit less full of bad things happening, to be honest. I think it's just like there never seems to be really anything good happening to the characters. And I don't really love that, to be honest. So we're going with 3 stars, but I'm happy that I read it. Will I read the third one if the third one ever comes out? No. I'm gonna have to be honest. I like the first one more. I think this one is just too much. I don't think that I would be interested in the third one if the third one ever comes out. As far as I know, there are only 2, but it does seem that you know, the line is open for a third one, and I don't really care about that, to be honest. So yeah, slightly disappointing, but not like bad. Other than that, I tried to read 2 romances yesterday, which both were a mess. One, like both of them were like fated mates kind of novels, but definitely not the types that I've read so far. The first one I tried to read were about fated mates on a campus, and they used the terminology of like alphas and omegas and betas and stuff like that, but everybody seemed to be human, which I have never come across a story like that. And in that story, there weren't clean lines of consent, and I don't mesh with that, to be honest. A lot of it felt like coercion in the story, which is not consent. And so yeah, I just stopped at some point because I was really uncomfortable with that. And then the second one was a shifter novel about bear shifters and his human mate. And the human has like a bad date with like a wolf shifter, and he runs into the forest where the bear shifter finds him, who is like, oh, it's my fated mate. And then, you know, the story kind of goes from there. But what I did not realize, because it wasn't in the title, I'm pretty sure, is that it was an MPreg novel, which, nope, not my thing. Yeah, I stopped when I realized that, and yeah, so I haven't finished anything in the romance department, but those were not for me at all. Like, fine if you like that, but I couldn't get into that. So yeah, other than that, it's going fine. I have a pretty good headache right now, so I will keep this short. I might do a bit more stitching, but I might just, you know, do a little bit of like cleaning, organizing, and try to get rid of this headache. We'll see. I did start my stitching of my new project yesterday, but I'm not far. It's like not even 1%, but yeah, it's really nice. Oh, and my book came yesterday. Let me show that to you. Doop, doop. It was actually the Starbright Illumicrate box that came yesterday, and sadly I am not at all interested in reading the book. It looks super, super cool, I have to say that. This is Fonda Lee, which she wrote the Jade Chronicles. Is that the name of the series? Like Jade City and stuff. I have not read anything by her. Greenbone Saga is the title. And this is the last contract of Isako, which is a samurai sci-fi book. And sadly, it's about like corporate espionage and all of that, and that is just not me. I have zero interest in reading this book, sadly. I think my partner would actually enjoy this, but yeah, for me it's a no. And if it was a short book, I would probably give it a try, but this is over 500 pages, and that is just too much for a book which blurbs I'm not interested in. The blurb is pretty much that we have Isako, who is like a legendary swordswoman, and when her contract ends with the guy she's kind of like a long-time client she's been working with, she's like, okay, I'm gonna go and die pretty much, so I die a legend, because she has just this like air around her. But then somebody, a competitor of hers, offers her a final mission, and then it goes into the espionage and duels and secrets and, you know, all of that, which to a lot of people I think sounds pretty good, but to me I just can't get into that. So yeah, this one will probably just land on my shelves. I will probably put it in the red shelves just because I really like the design of the book. It's a really, really pretty book. I just have no interest in reading it, which is, I think, the complete first one in the horror and the sci-fi box. The first time that I ever not wanted to read a book in them. So yeah, I might have to rethink the sci-fi box, because it's really hit or miss for me. The horror box I'm really good with. I really like those books, but the sci-fi seems to be really, really hit or miss, and I don't know if it's worth the money at that point, to be honest. So yeah, that's the update for today. I already know which physical book I will pick up tomorrow, which I will show you tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I can find a new good romance tonight. So I read a really weird romance yesterday, which is called My Stalker. He sees what no one else sees. And I still don't know what rating I should give the book, because on the one hand, it is a book about a stalker. Like, our main character goes to university, like does his studies, and then like he's kind of invisible to most people, and then he has a couple of people who are just bullying him to various degrees, but there's like one, like your typical jock type, who has like really has it out for him. And then some random day he just gets like a message of a picture of him, and then the message is like something like, you know, I see you when no one else does, like something like that. And from then on, like he gets more pictures and he gets really paranoid. And then one day when he has like an altercation with Tyler, his bully, Tyler starts getting messages, so much so that he actually stops harassing him and then actually leaves the school because the stalker has like some shit on Tyler. And at some point, like, our main character and the stalker meet, and the stalker's just somebody like that is also taking courses at the university, who's like just really into him and just wants to have a relationship with him. And then they end up together, and it's like one of those like, yo, we don't need anybody else but each other. But like it's not really in all that toxic of a way, because our main character doesn't care for other people. Like, he felt it really hard that he felt like he had to be social. So it isn't really all that of a negative thing for our main character. And he still like goes to university, he searches for a job. Like, it's not like the guy is like in any way inhibiting his normal life. It's just that they're now together at the end of the novel. And the thing is, parts of it were really cute, and things were like, okay, like the stalker isn't like negative. He's like keeping an eye on him so that he doesn't do anything stupid. But yeah, it feels wrong to feel that about a stalker, because in the end, he's still a stalker. And our main character is still really paranoid throughout the whole book because of the stalker, even though he's also like, oh, well, the things he's saying aren't all that negative, so he could just talk to me normally. And like, he does at some point talk to him normally. There's no reason for the guy to be a stalker. So yeah, the book was really weird. I enjoyed it, but I feel wrong to give it a good rating because it's just kind of fucked up, the whole story. So yeah, I don't know what rating to give it. It is by L. Harlan. It was a pretty short story. It's like 88 pages or something like that, or like 80, between 80 and 90 pages. So yeah, it's just a really weird, confusing experience, the book. So yeah, I don't know. I will have to see it to get it a rating at some point, but I don't know yet. And then I did pick up a physical book, though I'm not really that far into it because I still had like partially a headache this morning, so I haven't gotten into it that much. But I think the headache is gone now, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully I can read a little bit more today or tomorrow. But I decided to pick up Itch. This is a body horror novel, and like is it body horror if it's like feeling things underneath your skin? I hate that feeling. I am really like, if I walk into like a spider web, I feel that all over my body. So I'm slightly afraid of the novel, but I feel it's so fascinating. So yeah, our main character is a woman. We get her when she's a child. Her mother died, and her father is like really hollow code. Like, he's either really shitty to her or he's really good to her, and it's pretty much like 50-50 chance if she gets like the good parent in her dad or the bad parent, but she's definitely parentified, and she has to do a lot. Like, her father just doesn't really get things done at home. He's like really lost, and he lets it out on her pretty much. And then in the beginning, he's making like pies for like this, I think like a motorcycle rally or like a type of rally, and she wants him to tell her a story so she can sleep, because she can't sleep because she feels like there's something wrong in her room. And whilst she's getting her dad away from the kitchen, there's like ants coming in and going all over the meat that he's preparing to go into the pies. And like, her last thought is like, oh, hopefully none of the ants land in the pie. And it's like really like, ugh. And now she had to move back to the city because her girlfriend was pretty abusive to her, I think. It seemed at least like that. Or at least it wasn't a good relationship. And so she moves back to her hometown, which is like a really small town, and she lives in this apartment building. And to get there, the like easiest way is through this little woodland, I would say. And she finds a dead body there that she thinks is a mannequin. And that is the point I'm at right now. And I do know from the blurb that the body is full of ants, and then she spirals from there. But yeah, it sounds crazy, to be honest, but it sounds really interesting. I do really love the book design. Like, it's really simple, but I love the design. So that is what I will be reading and hopefully continuing with tomorrow. Other than that, I don't really have any updates. You still can't tell a difference in my cross stitch because I am still working on one color in the corner here, and I am now going to do a nice bit of playing Resident Evil 4 because I want to start my achievement collecting with Resident Evil 4 with the remake. I have all but one achievements of the original. I'm now doing the achievements in the remake, and yeah, that is probably what I will be doing the rest of the afternoon because I haven't gotten a good like gaming session in like quite a time. So I'm looking forward to doing like a really nice solid gaming session. I have my drink of choice, which is a white monster. So I am hooked up on caffeine, and yeah, I will do some gaming now, and then I will check in with you tomorrow. We'll see if I could get anything like crafting wise done. I will visit my local secondhand furniture. Like they have everything secondhand, but I'm going for the furniture because I am redoing the like small little storage room that is here. I want to redo it, and so I'm on the lookout for a nice bit of furniture. But I set myself the goal to only use secondhand stuff for the room. So we'll see if I can find anything. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. So my reading didn't go quite as planned as I wanted it. I have only read like a chapter or two more of Itchy. It's buried under there. It pretty much, the chapter was more about our main character and how she grew up and her insecurities, and then we actually also learned that her ex has given her a brain injury because she threw like a brick at her and she landed in the hospital because of that, and she still has a scar. And she, ever since, she has like felt off in life, and she's really insecure about herself, like obviously because she was abused for quite some time, and even before that she was always like the weird girl because her mother died when she was so young. So that is a lot of what we got so far. And then I'm now at the point where she realizes that what she's seeing is actually a dead body. So yeah, I haven't read as much as I wanted to, but I didn't sleep well, and so I was really tired this morning, so I just couldn't really concentrate on that. And then I did try to read some romance yesterday, but either I'm just weird or the books were just cringy. But I had a problem with like one book, for example, where we have like an age gap. One guy is 32 and works as an electrician, and the other one is 22 and works at the local arcade. And the electrician is the one who repairs the machines in the arcade, and that is how they kind of met. And both are like pretty into the other, but like both are like a little bit insecure and don't really know how to do the first step. But they are pretty flirty towards each other, and then so the electrician asks the arcade guy out, and but he's like, yeah, do you want to get like a drink? And so it's not quite obvious that he asked for a date. And so the arcade guy is like, where are we going? And then the electrician is like, yeah, let's go to a sports bar. Let's be honest, I don't think that there would ever be a good first date in a sports bar, for neither constellation of people who are dating. But the guy who works in the arcade is pretty like out and proud. Like he doesn't really like hold back, so his clothing style is a little bit more out there. And obviously going to a sports bar can be pretty problematic. We all know what type of people are often in sports bars. And so he's like, why would he take me to a sports bar? And then picks an outfit that he thinks would be like least bad in a sports bar. But like, why would you go into with somebody there if you feel that uncomfortable? And then they have the first date, they go somewhere else because like a friend of the electrician is like, buddy, that is not where you're supposed to go on a first date. So they go to like a wine bar instead, and they have drinks, they talk, they make out and all of that. So fine, they make a point for the second date, and then they both come to the second date nervous and super insecure and super unsure about what this is all supposed to be. But like they already like slept the night over at at the arcade guy's apartment. They got each other off, they kissed, they snuggled, and then they are nervous for the second date. I'm so confused. Maybe that is how it's for other people. I have never dated in my life, really. I always just like got together. Not that I have, I only ever had two partners, so it's not like I have a lot of experience when it comes to that. But like I was never on a dating app, and I never went on a date. Like my partner and I met in like a pen and paper role play group, so we never went out alone. We just met with other people at the apartment, and then at some point decided we want to be together. So it's really, I just don't understand the whole dating thing, but for me it did not make any sense, and I stopped after that because it was really awkward for me. So yeah, I have to search for other romances because I don't know, the last ones were all awkward people. We went out shopping today. We went to the secondhand store. Sadly, they didn't have any furniture that I wanted. But they had one shelf, but it was super expensive for a secondhand store. It was like 120 euros. It was real wood, and it had like a really nice like old portrait painted on it. Like I get why it was more expensive, but there's just no way for me to say 120 euros for like a small shelf is in any way feasible, so I didn't buy it even though I really liked it. But like other than that, I couldn't find any furniture. I did pick up a book. I do love me a good like thriller secondhand that I can just pick up, and if I don't like it, I'm not sad about it. So I paid €1.50 for this, so it was really, really cheap, and I got myself Simon Beckett, The Calling of the Grave, because I haven't read a Simon Beckett in a long time, and I do know that I used to like them, so we're gonna see if I like this. And then I did also pick up a picture frame without glass. Like this one is, somebody made it so that you could like pictures in here, but I plan on putting one of my cross stitches in here, because I feel like it would fit really well, and it was really cheap, so you know. And it's made of wood, which I feel like is harder to get nowadays. And I do like my things out of wood. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. That was super cheap. So I'm fine with that. I just have to, I don't know, go back a couple of times and see if I can't find some shelves that fit the vibe I want to go with. So yeah, that is all for today and for this vlog because it is Saturday. And yeah, I hope, even though it wasn't as much reading as I had hoped to do this week, I hope it was still fine. I'm trying to get back into things. Hopefully there will be the wrap-up of last month reading on Thursday. I'm giving my all to get that out to you. But yeah, we'll have to see. I will try. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Maybe leave down below what you've read in this week, and hopefully your reading has gone a little bit better than mine. And yeah, I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye bye!